For the first time in decades, the Pentagon is seriously looking at a combat aircraft that was not built in the United States. And there's no human in the cockpit. Australia's MQ-28 Ghost Bat is not just another heavy drone, it's seen as a way to rewrite the arithmetic of air warfare. The aircraft commanders can afford to risk goes forward, while the fighter with a human inside strikes without revealing its position. Why is demand for aircraft like this being driven specifically by the Pacific? And what role is being prepared for the Ghost Bat within the Allied Air Network? Let's begin with the challenge Australia originally set out to solve. The story of Australia's MQ-28 began with a very practical objective: to expand the capabilities of a small but technologically advanced air force without purchasing an endless number of extremely expensive crewed aircraft. Australia has an enormous territory and is located far away from most potential combat zones. As a result, its planners are forced to think not only about the quality of their aircraft, but also about the sheer distances they'll have to cover. In February 2019, the Australian government and Boeing officially announced the development of the Loyal Wingman demonstrator, designed to operate alongside fifth-generation crewed fighters. At the start, Canberra allocated around $28 million to the program, while for Boeing, the project became its largest investment in a new uncrewed aviation program outside the United States. Crucially, the aircraft was not simply imported to Australia in finished form. It was designed, tested, and built by Boeing's local Australian divisions together with the Royal Australian Air Force and domestic contractors. The pace of development was unusually fast, even by the standards of experimental aviation. The first aircraft was rolled out in May 2020. By the end of February 2021, it had already completed its maiden flight at RAAF base Woomera. In total, less than 2 years passed between the official launch of the project and the aircraft leaving the runway, a time frame that traditional aviation programs often spend merely agreeing on requirements. The main reason for this rapid progress was digital engineering. From the outset, the MQ-28 was developed as an entirely new design rather than a conversion of an existing airframe. Engineers could test the layout, system performance, and manufacturing processes in a digital environment before assembling a physical prototype. This made it possible to modify structural elements more quickly while preparing production at the same time. As a result, Australia received the first military combat aircraft designed and built in the country in more than 50 years. The official name Ghost Bat appeared in 2022. It was chosen in honor of the Australian ghost bat, Macroderma gigas, which uses its highly developed senses to detect prey both in the air and on the ground. The metaphor was almost perfect. The drone was also expected to search for targets covertly, gather intelligence, and help other members of the group carry out strikes. The formal MQ-28A designation, meanwhile, underscored that the project had already moved beyond impressive concept demonstrations and had become a program for a future combat system. Then came the most challenging phase, teaching the aircraft to operate not along an isolated test route, but within a real air operation. Developers had to prove that the Ghost Bat could safely take off and land, maintain formation, exchange data, receive updated assignments while already airborne, and interact with crewed platforms. By April 2025, the program had reached the milestone of 100 test flights, after which testing began moving rapidly toward realistic combat scenarios. In the summer of 2025, 2 real MQ-28s and 1 additional virtual aircraft participated in a single mission controlled by just one operator aboard an E-7A Wedgetail airborne early warning and control aircraft. This was an important milestone because the Ghost Bat demonstrated that it did not require a dedicated remote pilot with a joystick for every individual UAV. The operator set the mission intent and supervised its execution, while the drones performed a significant part of the flight independently. In December of that same year, the MQ-28 went even further by launching an AIM-120 AMRAAM missile and destroying a Phoenix jet-powered aerial target. The engagement involved an E-7A Wedgetail and an FA-18F Super Hornet. Target information was passed between the aircraft. The Wedgetail operator took control of the drone and authorized the use of the weapon. In doing so, the Ghost Bat demonstrated not an isolated missile launch at a test range, but a real fragment of distributed air combat. One participant detected the target, another made the decision, and a third launched the missile. The physical dimensions of the MQ-28 go far beyond the reconnaissance drones we're used to seeing. It measures 38.39 feet in length, stands approximately 6.5 feet high, has a wingspan of 23.95 feet, and a maximum takeoff weight of roughly 5.4 metric tons. In terms of speed, the Ghost Bat flies slightly faster than a Boeing 777 airliner. That's fast enough to accompany fighter aircraft during normal flight, though the drone cannot keep up with them at supersonic speeds. It can reach Mach 0.9, operate above 39,300 feet, and travel more than 2,000 nautical miles. This allows the MQ-28 not merely to loiter over a localized area for long periods, but to move alongside jet-powered combat aircraft across the enormous distances separating remote bases and combat zones. At the same time, the Ghost Bat's not trying to become a direct copy of the F-35. It doesn't have supersonic speed, a pilot cockpit, complex life support systems, or the need to provide a human with visibility, comfort, and safe ejection. Engineers were therefore able to dedicate the available internal space to fuel, electronics, and mission payloads while shaping the airframe around aerodynamic efficiency and reduced radar observability. Very little has been publicly disclosed about the UAV's power plant. All that's known is that it uses a single jet engine. Its specific model, exact thrust, fuel capacity, practical combat radius, and patrol endurance have not been made public. Visually, the Ghost Bat makes it clear that its designers prioritized reducing its radar signature. The engine air intake is positioned on top of the fuselage, the structural lines of the body and wings are closely aligned, and the twin vertical tail fins are canted outward. However, perhaps the most unusual structural feature is found at the front of the airframe. The MQ-28's nose is constructed as an interchangeable mission module, meaning ground crews do not need to repeatedly rebuild the aircraft for every new task. It's enough to install a nose section fitted with a specific package of sensors and equipment, and the aircraft is ready. One drone can carry electro-optical reconnaissance equipment, another can search for radar emissions, a third can act as a communications relay, and a fourth can perform electronic warfare. Yet the value of this modular nose design goes beyond operational convenience. The interchangeable nose transforms visually identical drones into a group of aircraft with radically different capabilities. An adversary sees several Ghost Bats but can't tell which one carries the most dangerous sensor, which one's generating interference, and which one's merely forcing them to waste attention, time, and valuable missiles. Boeing has announced that Leonardo will provide an infrared search and track system for the modular nose, while Eaton is developing a specialized ejection device for the internal payload of an advanced configuration. The aircraft's internal architecture is rapidly being populated with specialized equipment, even though the full range of planned mission modules has not yet been made public. The entire operational payload is carried internally, maintaining the airframe's clean contours in keeping with stealth principles. Yet once again, the exact payload capacity and the full range of equipment or weapons it can carry remains unknown, with the clear exception of the AIM-120 AMRAAM. The flight control architecture is equally noteworthy. On the ground, the MQ-28 is handled by a takeoff and landing operator and a mission operator. Once airborne during a combat mission, control can be transferred to the crew of a crewed aircraft, as demonstrated with the E-7A Wedgetail. Naturally, this doesn't mean that the Wedgetail crew manually controls the flight surfaces of every individual drone. The purpose of these uncrewed systems is to follow flight paths, maintain formation and safe separation, and carry out assigned actions independently, leaving mission assignment, supervision, and critical decisions to the human operator. This is where the line between autonomy and a fully autonomous weapon is drawn. The MQ-28 can analyze the situation and operate without continuous manual piloting. However, the live-fire AIM-120 test was conducted under human supervision. The operator took control of the aircraft and authorized the attack. For military leadership, this is not only an ethical issue, but also a legal one. A human must understand what the onboard sensors are seeing, how reliably the target has been identified, and whether an error has occurred in an environment heavily affected by electronic interference. The Ghost Bat's true operational advantage comes into play not in isolated solo flights, but when operating as part of a networked group. Multiple drones can combine their sensor data and transmit a shared tactical picture back to a crewed aircraft. If one drone sees a target from an unfavorable angle, a second drone positioned elsewhere may provide a clearer view, while a third tracks the target's radar emissions. Fusing and processing this data increases targeting accuracy and makes it more difficult for an enemy to hide or deceive the system. In December 2025, Australian authorities announced investments exceeding $980 million in the MQ-28 program. The funding covers 6 additional MQ-28 Block II aircraft, the development of 1 Block III prototype, new sensors, control systems, and expanded ground infrastructure. The first Block II aircraft are scheduled to roll off the assembly line by the end of 2026, with Boeing previously pointing toward 2028 as the target date for Australia to achieve initial operational capability. Production's also being moved to a dedicated manufacturing facility in Wellcamp, Queensland. Meanwhile, the United States is pursuing its own collaborative combat aircraft program and testing experimental prototypes such as the YFQ-42A and YFQ-44A. Back in 2023, U.S. Air Force officials emphasized that cooperation with Australia was primarily focused on mutual learning rather than an unannounced decision to adopt the Ghost Bat as the winner of the American CCA competition. However, the absence of a formal procurement contract does not mean a lack of serious interest. In late March 2023, Australia and the United States signed an agreement on a joint CCA project involving the exchange of experience and technology. In the spring of 2026, the MQ-28 left Australia for the first time, conducting 3 flights at the U.S. Navy's Point Mugu test range in California. Then in June 2026, the MQ-28 was deployed to Rhode Island in the Northern Mariana Islands to participate in Exercise Valiant Shield 2026. During the exercise, it participated in offensive and defensive counter-air scenarios before conducting a joint flight alongside a U.S. Air Force F-15EX over the Philippine Sea. This level of active testing with a foreign UAV goes well beyond basic diplomatic courtesy. The U.S. military is evaluating how the Australian drone fits into its forward bases, communications networks, mission planning procedures, and fighter tactics. Even if the United States does not ultimately purchase the MQ-28, the operational lessons learned will help it formulate requirements for its own domestic CCA aircraft more quickly. And if American uncrewed programs encounter developmental delays, a ready and relatively mature allied platform such as the Ghost Bat could become a useful backup or supplementary option. The main reason for all this attention can be seen clearly on a regional map. Any potential military confrontation between the United States and China would be fought not across compact Central Europe, but across the vast expanses of the Western Pacific, where hundreds and thousands of nautical miles separate bases, islands, and patrol areas. Fighters operating over these distances require support from aerial refueling tankers, airborne early warning aircraft, command platforms, and long-range communication systems. At the same time, these large and extremely expensive support aircraft would become priority targets for Chinese fighters and long-range missiles. The U.S. Air Force officially identifies China as its primary long-term challenge while investing in resilient forward bases, distributed command systems, and more affordable uncrewed aircraft designed to complement crewed aviation in extreme conditions. Today, an E-7A Wedgetail or similar airborne early warning aircraft faces an operational dilemma. To maximize its radar coverage, it needs to fly closer to the contested area. But to survive, it needs to remain farther away from the enemy. The MQ-28 could take on part of this burden by pushing sensors into high-threat areas while the crewed command platform remains at a safer distance. A similar operational logic applies to stealth fighters such as the F-35 Lightning II. Low observable fighters can enter dangerous airspace, but their internal weapon bays carry a limited number of missiles. Furthermore, every operational flight hour consumes the service life of an extremely expensive aircraft, while the loss of a pilot carries serious military and political consequences. A group of Ghost Bats could expand an F-35 sensor coverage, monitor additional threat directions, and potentially add weapons without forcing the crewed fighter to reveal its position first. One of the most realistic tactical applications is using the UAV as a forward-deployed sensor platform. The MQ-28 flies ahead of the main group with its radar or passive infrared system active. Even if the adversary detects the drone, the crewed aircraft behind it remains concealed. The collected data is transmitted back, after which another member of the group can launch a missile. Losing a forward drone in this scenario would still be unpleasant, but it would be far preferable to losing an F-35, an E-7A, or their crews. A second critical role is electronic warfare. The Ghost Bat could operate near enemy air defense zones, search for radar emissions, create interference, and generate a false picture of an incoming attack. Enemy commanders would have to decide whether a particular contact is a reconnaissance aircraft, a missile carrier, or a decoy. If they activate their radar, its position can be detected. If they remain silent, the drone may be able to move closer. And if they launch an expensive missile, the United States and its allies will have exchanged a comparatively affordable aircraft for a reduction in the enemy's missile stockpile. A third mission is the defense of friendly air bases, naval vessels, and support aircraft. CCAs could patrol dangerous directions and operate farther forward than crewed fighters. After detecting Chinese bombers or cruise missiles, they could transmit the data to the group and, if authorized, engage the targets themselves. The AIM-120 test demonstrated that this is no longer purely theoretical for the MQ-28, while Exercise Valiant Shield included both offensive and defensive air missions. It's important to emphasize that the Ghost Bat is not designed as a cheap, single-use kamikaze drone. It is a reusable, recoverable aircraft equipped with sophisticated electronics, a jet engine, and a low observable airframe. Yet, because it has no pilot, it's an asset commanders can risk more aggressively in high-threat scenarios. Australia has stated a goal of reducing the cost of one MQ-28 to around 10% of the cost of a crewed combat aircraft. For now, however, this remains a target rather than an indication of its actual production price. The economics of air power are just as important as autonomy. The United States may be able to build an outstanding fighter, but it can't station a squadron of F-35s over every island. China, meanwhile, could force the Americans to expend expensive missiles and aircraft service life against numerous threats at the same time. This is why the U.S. Air Force needs combat mass, more sensors, more weapon carriers, and more false and real targets in the air. Australia has spoken of deploying at least 3 uncrewed platforms for every crewed combat aircraft. Under this approach, within the next few years, a single fighter could evolve from an already powerful aircraft into the central node of a small, distributed squadron. Furthermore, the MQ-28 was developed by an ally that already operates many of the same aircraft, including the F-35A, FA-18F, EA-18G, and E-7A. Australian and American Air Forces are closely aligned technology, participate in joint exercises, and are preparing to operate in the same region. This makes integration significantly easier than adopting an unfamiliar foreign system. The Ghost Bat's participation in Exercise Valiant Shield showed that a collaborative combat aircraft could become not merely a national attachment to one specific jet, but a shared node within an allied air network. For Australia, American interest in the program also carries enormous industrial significance. Exports or joint production could increase the production run, lower the cost of each aircraft, and help preserve Australia's domestic aviation industry. By late 2025, more than 200 Australian companies had joined the MQ-28 supply chain, with local industrial content estimated at roughly 70%. For the first time in decades, Canberra is receiving not merely a weapon purchased from its senior ally, but a technology with which it can enter that ally's own military planning. Of course, potential adversaries are adapting as well. China is developing its own combat UAVs, improving its electronic warfare capabilities, and will attempt to disrupt communications between uncrewed wingmen and crewed aircraft. The future of air warfare will be decided not simply by which side builds the better aircraft, but by which network processes sensor data faster, maintains command links in jammed environments, and restores the system more quickly after losses. A possible war with China would require the United States to operate far from its mainland bases, preserve expensive crewed aircraft, and create a large number of simultaneous threats for the enemy. And the MQ-28 appears almost tailor-made for these requirements, even though it was developed in Australia. It can act as a forward sensor, electronic jammer, defensive guard, weapons carrier, or decoy, sometimes within the same operation. Where the strength of an air force was once judged mainly by the number of crewed fighters it possessed, the coming decade may be measured by a different metric: how many capable uncrewed wingmen each of those fighters can bring with it. Could Australia's head start with the Ghost Bat make it an attractive option for the United States alongside its own domestic CCA programs? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss our updates. See you next time!